My mother-in-law tried to have me declared mentally incompetent to steal my lake house, and now she lost everything because she forgot that my brother is a psychiatrist. I should have known something was off when she insisted on being called Mother Cheryl and demanded weekly progress reports on our reproductive timeline. My parents died in a car accident 2 years ago. Drunk driver on I-90 left me and my brother Dennis their house, a lake property upstate, and about $200,000 in savings. Not lottery money, but enough that I could quit my call center job and go back to school for nursing. That's when Cheryl changed. Suddenly I wasn't the daughter she never had. I was the girl holding Todd back from better opportunities. You don't need all those properties, she said at the funeral reception. My parents' funeral reception, while I was holding their urns. Todd could use that lake house for his business retreats. Todd sold insurance. His business retreats were him and 2 coworkers drinking beer in his buddy's garage. 6 months after my parents died, I had what my doctor called a grief episode. Couldn't get out of bed for a week. Cried in the grocery store looking at my mom's favorite yogurt brand. Forgot to eat some days. Normal grief stuff that therapy was helping with. Cheryl started documenting everything. I know because she accidentally sent the email to me instead of Todd's sister Rachel. Diana's mental state declining. Found her crying in car at Target. Refused to explain. Concerning behavior. Start keeping records for later. Then came the interventions. Cheryl would show up with Rachel and Todd's cousin who got his psychology degree from an online university that no longer exists. They'd sit me down and tell me I seemed unstable. We're just worried, Cheryl would say. Maybe you need more help than you're getting. I have a therapist. But are they really helping? You still seem so fragile. The real escalation started when Cheryl found out my parents' lake house was worth $800,000. Some developer wanted to buy the whole shore for condos. I said no. Dad built that dock with his own hands. Mom planted every flower in that garden. You're not thinking clearly, Cheryl informed me. That money could secure Todd's future. Todd has his own job. Don't be selfish, Diana. Mental illness makes people selfish. She started calling my therapist pretending to be me, canceling appointments. I'd show up and they'd say I'd called to skip. She told neighbors I'd been talking to people who weren't there. I was on Bluetooth calls. She signed me up for grief support groups, then told everyone I refused to go. She gave me the wrong addresses. 2 weeks later, Todd came home with paperwork. Mom thinks this would be best, he said, not making eye contact. Just temporary, until you're feeling more stable. Power of attorney forms, and a suggested voluntary psychiatric hold for evaluation. You have been acting different. My parents are dead, Todd. See, this anger isn't like you. I kicked him out. He went to his mother's. Cheryl called the next morning saying she was so sorry it had to happen this way, but they'd already contacted a lawyer about conservatorship. That's when I called Dennis, my brother the psychiatrist, the one Cheryl somehow always forgot existed. Dennis flew in from Chicago that day. Brought his colleague Dr. Miranda Wu, head of psychiatric evaluation at Northwestern. They also brought something else. Dennis's husband Robert, who happened to be a medical malpractice attorney. Let me get this straight, Robert said, reading Cheryl's emails that Todd had forwarded about my concerning behavior. She's been documenting symptoms but never once suggested actual medical help, only legal control. Dr. Wu evaluated me for 4 hours. Comprehensive testing, cognitive function, reality testing, the works. You have adjustment disorder with depressed mood, she concluded. Literally the most normal response to losing both parents traumatically. You're also surprisingly mentally healthy considering what your mother-in-law is putting you through. The meeting with Cheryl's lawyer was beautiful. They walked in so confident. Cheryl had worn her concerned mother sweater and everything. Their lawyer presented their evidence, the missed therapy appointments, the crying episodes, the anger, my delusion about my mother coming to dinner. Robert responded with Dr. Wu's evaluation, Dennis's professional assessment, proof that Cheryl had been canceling my appointments, and a recording, legal in our state, of Cheryl telling her hairdresser she couldn't wait to redecorate that tacky lake house. The judge didn't even deliberate, dismissed everything, suggested Cheryl might benefit from counseling herself, but Robert wasn't done. We countersued for intentional infliction of emotional distress. Cheryl had to admit, under oath, that she'd been trying to take my inheritance. The court transcripts are public record. Todd tried to come back, showed up with flowers and an apology that started with, Mom means well. I served him divorce papers instead. Cheryl had convinced him to sign a post-nup 2 years ago to protect his assets. She never thought I'd be the one with assets to protect. The divorce finalized last month. I got everything except Todd's prized baseball card collection. Cheryl can store those in the condo she doesn't own anymore. She mortgaged it for Todd's latest business venture, mobile dog grooming, that failed in 3 weeks.